Okay, team, let's make some salsa. I have a pan here over medium heat. I have my dry peppers in here, and there's nothing on the pan other than the peppers, okay? And we're basically toasting the peppers, and we're using this pan. Traditionally, you would use a comal, right, which is a thin carbon pan that you would use to toast all your ingredients. We obviously can't put everything in here at the same time, so I'm toasting my peppers first. Um, my ingredients for my sauce are going to be my peppers, my tomatoes. I got an onion that I peeled and I just cut in half. A couple of limes. I got a jalapeno. I got a whole bunch of cilantro. That looks weird because of my screen, right? And then I have some garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic. I'm actually using my garlic here at home. I buy heads of garlic, and they have the peel, and I'm going to roast them with the peel on. If you have the ones that we provided for you don't have the peel on, they just take a little bit less. All right, and the goal here for salsa asada, which asada translates from Spanish to English onto roasted, is that we're roasting all the vegetables, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be fast, right? Medium, low is best. We don't only want them to be charred in the outside, but we also want them to be fully cooked by the time we're done with them, right? And I'm going to start with the driest things in the pan first to the wettest things in the pan. So my tomatoes are going to be the last thing that I roast in here. When we put our peppers in here, notice that like every minute or so, I'm flipping them. This pepper should take about I would say maybe 4 minutes. They're guajillo peppers, right? This is a mild pepper. Doesn't get too hot. It does bring a lot of flavor. It brings not only chili flavor, but it brings a kind of an umami flavor to it. It's not a smoked pepper. It's just a dry pepper, but it's in the medium Scoville unit wise, right? And how do we know when they're done? They're gonna get really flexible. You see how my peppers are getting really flexible, right? They're gonna get a really good shine to them, almost like different colors, okay? And they're gonna start smelling really good, okay? That's how you can tell. Usually, anytime that you're working with peppers like this, you would toast them first. This will start releasing the oils on them. They'll make them soft, so it'll be easier to take the seeds out if that's what you want to do. I'm not taking the seeds on this case. It all depends how spicy you like things. Like I said, these are not too spicy, but for other peppers, although we know that the heat of the peppers is in the veins where all the juices are in the inside of the pepper, but it does attach to the seeds and they bring some heat. Okay, so this is gonna be a really easy, simple recipe. All right, guys. So like my peppers, I believe they're ready. They're super soft. They're super shiny. You can tell they're very shiny. They're very soft. So these peppers are ready to go. So I can remove these from this pan. And I'm using my hands. You don't have to. You can use a pair of tongs if you like. I don't think it's that hot. And then I'm gonna take my garlic and I'm gonna put it in here. And I'm gonna take my jalapeno whole and put it in here. I'm gonna take my onions and put them in here whole as well. Okay, and I'm gonna cook this for a little bit. I have enough space for the tomatoes, so I might as well just put them in here. And I have 2 tomatoes that are kind of green, so those are gonna go in there first. And then these other 2 tomatoes are kind of ripe, so I'm gonna leave those for later. This is gonna cook like this for, I'm guessing, about 10 minutes. And then once I see that they have a good color in the outside and they feel soft like they're cooking the inside, then we can move forward. Okay, so I'll see you when these are ready. And I'm just gonna continue moving them until I get them to a spot that I like. If you leave them and don't move them, they will most likely burn, right? So we wanna blister them and get a good color on them, but we also wanna make sure that they're cooked. Like, as you can tell, my tomato is getting some color right away. All right, so 18. It's been about 18 to 20 minutes. All my vegetables have a nice char to them. Okay. Um, for this salsa, you can either use your blender if you have one. If you have an immersion blender, that works too. Okay. If you have an immersion blender, obviously I would just chop things up a little bit, rough chop, it doesn't matter, and then just put them in a bowl and start pushing with that immersion blender. I have my blender right here, so we're gonna rock out this salsa. I am peeling the garlic cloves. That'll be the first thing that I'm gonna put in there. Is my garlic. Things to know: the garlic in the outside should be a little bit cooked. Like it should look a little bit black, but not too much. Okay, the peel doesn't pick up a lot of the color, but it should be soft. As you can tell, like I'm mashing this guy, and our garlic is gonna go in there, and it should be fairly quickly. And then after my garlic goes in there, I'm gonna put my peppers in there. I'm going to take the top and then shake some seeds off. I have a can down here, so I'm just putting my finger on the pepper and pulling some seeds off. I just want to make sure that I don't have the stems in there, right? But a little bit of seed, it's not a big deal, but a lot of seed is. All right, and I like my salsa a little bit chunky, so we're gonna go with that. So we're gonna put the peppers and the garlic down there, and the peppers are the lightest thing, so that's part of why we're putting it down there. I have also half of my cilantro, and that's going in there, and then I'm gonna weigh it down with my onions. Okay. Oh, there's the last clove of garlic. And this clove of garlic is gonna go in there. Okay. And 1 tomato, and I'm gonna pick the ripest tomato because I wanna create a base, and then we're gonna leave the other tomatoes and the jalapeno some kind of a little bit chunky. All right, so I got my blender, I got my lid. I'm gonna start my blender on low and work my way up, and I'm going to push this onion and tomato to the bottom. And I don't want it super smooth, okay? Okay, so that's all it really takes, just a little bit there of pushing. And it should be somewhat chunky. I'll pull some out of here, actually. I got a better spoon right here. And it should look kind of like a paste. Alright? And I just wanted to make sure that my dried peppers were cooked or were in small enough pieces, and they're hot in there, so they're basically rehydrating with the moisture from the tomatoes and the onion. Okay, now that I have that in there, my jalapeno is gonna go whole in there, and my other 3 tomatoes are gonna go in there, and then I'm going to hit it with 1 lime. I don't know how much lime I'm gonna need quite yet, so I'm just gonna do 1 lime first, and then go from there. If I need more, I can definitely add more. I'm making sure I get all the juice from this lime in there. I'm gonna get rid of this pan. And then some salt. And a little bit of pepper, but not too much, because we have hot peppers in there that will hit in the same place in the palate as black pepper. So we don't want to have a competition there, right? Clean up a little bit. And then I'm gonna blend it 1 more time. Remember, when things are hot, I let this cool down a little bit, but not too much, maybe 5 minutes. When foods are hot and you blend them, they expand. So always start on low and then work your way up. if you like really smooth salsa, then you know, go for it. Let it blend for a little bit, and we should be able to tell. I'm gonna move this board out of the way real quick, but I like my salsa to be a bit chunky, so I'm leaving it as is, right? Like, you can tell that there's still some texture in there. All right, and then now we can taste. It's pretty good, but it definitely needs a little bit more salt, and actually it could take some more heat, like for my taste, right? But like, if I'm feeding a bunch of people, then no, that's enough. So I'm gonna go a bit more salt and half a lime. I think it needs. Okay. And I'm gonna give this one last mix, and then I'm gonna show you something really cool with it. But it's not just eating it with chips. Quick mix there. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. Now, you got salsa, what to do with it, right? I have my burner right here. Trying to get it so you can see it. There we go. And I'm going to turn this up. And I have a pan right here, and I'm going to take my salsa, or at least some of my salsa, and put it in there. And I'm using about half of it, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. And I have that on high heat. Okay? Now, I have it on high heat. I got a lid right here. Okay? And let's make some brunch. I got 2 eggs right here. And I'm gonna just crack the egg right into there. Okay, maybe make a little hole. If yours is really chunky like mine, make a little hole so the egg can settle in. And go ahead and put the egg in there. And we're gonna cover this, and we're gonna let that cook for about, I'll say, 4 to 6 minutes. Okay, we want the yolk to be medium, and we want the white to be fully cooked. Okay, I'm gonna slide that to the side. While that's happening, I have a tray here that has some tortillas that I toasted earlier today, and I'm gonna put those down. Right, and this is something that doesn't take a long time. I have some cilantro that I had left over, and I have a little bit of the mixed cheese that I have left over from my crackers. Okay, and now we're just gonna cook the eggs for a couple more minutes, and then. Alright team, this took exactly 6 minutes, and I'm going to show you what's happening in here. The eggs are cooked but soft, okay? The whites are set, okay? And now we can easily build our huevos rancheros, if you will, right here, okay? A little bit of salsa. Spread that on your tortilla. Get your egg right on the top like that. You know, if you have other accompaniments that would go good with this dish, like avocado or maybe some, maybe you have some leftover beans. That's a great thing to put in this dish. Okay, you don't necessarily have to, but this would be a great brunch or breakfast. And then we'll take a little bit of cheese and go like so. Give it a little cilantro, and there you go.